And we are live. Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the September 23 installment of the Focus Up Show, the day before my birthday. We thank you for tuning in live with us every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, or catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as in the word Saint spelled backwards. And my host today, welcome back, the lovely First Lady J. We got the infamous El Pooh and the producer, the man, Mr. Floyd X.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the show.
There?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying, what's going on there, First Lady? A long time no see.
Long time no see. I'm here. I'm good. I'm standing. How are you today? My voice is messed up, but I'm here.
That's right. So, El Pooh, what it do, bro?
I'm here, blessed and happy to be here once again.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Floyd X. What was you about to say?
I'm just saying I'm ready to get the show cracking, get it going. We missing Mr. Walk. He probably gonna pop up a little bit later on the show, but we here ready to go, ready to drop the info and let y'all know what's going on here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit the like again and subscribe to our YouTube page. Get our numbers up. We bring you this show every week, trying to bring you some entertainment while bringing you information and trying to bring you advice that can help. We trying to put this together. We got some future guests coming on the show that's gonna help us get it cracking. I got a lot to say, but come on, Mr. Nice Guy, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get to the get. So we got first up in the news. What do we have here?
In the news, let's just run it. Go to prime time. Mr. Deion Sanders, that brother man is doing his thing. Got everybody looking at college football in the uproar and excited, motivated. I never looked at college football till now, and I can't wait for the games. Every week I'm checking in on the games. This week they playing Colorado is playing Oregon State. Oregon State, they say this gonna be the one that they lose. It's 3-0. Right now.
Oregon's favored by 21 points this game, so we'll see. So after you watch the Focus Up show and the Spin It Back, then you can tune in to prime time at 12:30. Right. But salute to that brother. They're doing big things, and we were talking about how they didn't even have the money to pay him, but he's paying for himself. He's bringing those ticket prices have been jumping up, that attendance, and a lot of people are commenting on the fact that a lot of black people have a lot of great interest. They sort of like become Black America's team, so to speak. So rock on Colorado.
Yes, and another thing I want to say about Mr. Primetime, he did the thing. I don't know if we talked about it when he did that deal with Blender for the shades. I've been trying to get those Blender shades, but they won't get here till December. But when the coach from that other college said something, and he did that deal. He sold $1.4 million worth of shades in one day. One day. One day, man. Come on.
That's that primetime star power going on right there. And I mean, and he's bringing that to that team. He's bringing that he's infusing that into the players, and it's just, it's infectious, and the success is playing out. So we salute and support this brother. He got a lot of flack for stepping away from the HBCU, but he brought all that shine to the HBCU. He's bringing all that shine to the Colorado, the football team. So,
and all the star power that he brings out to the game. You had Cameron there, Michael Irvin, Key Glock, Lil Wayne performed like a before the game or something like that. All these stars that came out to watch them play, and it was a good game last week, and they just turned it out and won it. And now they're going for this next one, man. He bringing it all out. The game is being played in Oregon this week. I just remembered I was reading the news, and they had the nerve. They had the nerve to put a goddamn parking ticket on Deion Sanders' Lamborghini. How dare they? He could park where he wants. Come on, Oregon. Let's get it right, Oregon.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, you're right about the star power, but he's not only he's bringing the star power to the meetings because he brought I forgot what her name is, the Brittany what's her name?
Brittany Renner.
Yeah, he brought her to speak to his players to educate them on how to look out for these conniving gold digger types. So
Yep, they brought her there to train. I'm trying to say the joke. They brought her there. They brought her there to train.
We're gonna bring in Walk's ignorant comment. He said, like, she said, they brought her in to train them, and then Walk said, and they probably trained her afterwards. So
That's cool. That's cool. It's only a joke. It's only a joke, people.
Walk is being Walk even in the meetings in the discussions.
Only a joke. Only a joke.
Salute to our brother there.
That's right. But let's move on. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. Where we at, nice guy?
So our next topic, this deputy killed in Palmdale. Yeah. I don't have the particulars about I was wondering because I don't know if he was like sitting in his car. That was the vibe that I got. He was like sitting in his car, and this dude just like murked him. And the one thing that I do know specifically about this is that when they finally caught this dude, I saw it on the news that his family was talking, and everybody like, he's a good guy. He just has these moments. He's going through those things, and don't judge him by this. But they're talking about how mentally unstable he is. And my situation is, or my position is that if you know that he's this unstable, how do you condone him having all these guns? Yeah. I mean, to me, y'all are almost just as guilty as him. I mean, to me, that the family should be dealing with some flack behind this, not just that dude. And that dude, I don't care about you going through your mental problems. You kill somebody, you need to deal with the consequences of that. That's all it is.
Well, he specifically killed a policeman or sheriff in this case, sheriff deputy. Maybe he has some mental issues because he was being harassed by the cops too often. I don't know, but it is what it is. But you know what? That mental, whatever the mental excuse that they always bring in it's overblown. Too many people go into that. So he did the crime. You gotta do the time. It is what it is.
What you got to say about that, First Lady?
I'm still stuck on the fact that he killed the man, then attended his visual like nothing ever happened. I do feel like, if a family knows that a person has mental health, like you said, the gun should be one of the first things that's removed. And if you don't have proof that you try to get mental health for that person or it's on record, don't throw it up that it was a mental health when something tragic happened. Like if you know your family member has a mental health issue, do what you're supposed to do and try to get them some help. And then if they do something, you do have some sign, some proof that you did try to reach out for help, not just like, we called the police a couple of times. What about professional help for those with mental issues?
Did we mention the cop's name yet? The deputy sheriff. His name was Deputy Sheriff Ryan Klinkenbroomer. He was 30 years old, and there's video footage. The black car pulls up next to him. I think he was just sitting there. The car, I don't know if it was at a light or what, but the car pulls up next to him, and then the car speeds off. And then a good Samaritan saw the cop was in need of help, called the police. They took him to the Antelope Valley Medical Center, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. So
it's messed up, man. He was sitting there just, enjoying his little donut, and he got killed. That's cold, man.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna put. I know here we normally avoid putting the name of the killer because we don't want to give them no shine. So hopefully he gets prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And I know that insanity plea,
Yeah, that's just
what it is. All right. Where we at, nice guy? We moving on? We moving on?
Yeah, we're moving on. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I was gonna say that that's why I take my position about if someone goes out and does something like this, where you kill somebody, where a person like me starts looking at your family because, yeah, I'm not trying to incriminate myself.
Why you say you start looking at the family?
I'm just saying that I'm not gonna. My wrath is not gonna stop at that one person. It's gonna be like a Lay's potato chip.
Okay.
Can't just have just one. So you know that you have that burden as a family. You know that your family member is crazy. It's your responsibility to do something about it when you have the first eyes on that situation. Because when something really terrible happens, don't be surprised if that wrath spills over to you. So that's my situation.
All right.
Try not to incriminate myself on video.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
All right, so here goes another one of those Republican publicity stunts of shipping migrants to what they call them sanctuary cities. So now recently they shipped a busload of immigrants, to a place in Los Angeles, and it's illegal to be moving these people around. They're doing these publicity stunts and not realizing or not considering or focusing on the fact that they're exposing themselves to their criminal involvement in this procedure. And it's like, if you actually rounded up these people because you don't want them in your place and you move them to LA or whatever, why not just ship them back to Mexico? Or why not just basically turn them over to whoever is at the border patrol or whatever? I mean, the bottom line is, if you're capturing these people because you don't want them in America, all you're doing is moving them to somewhere deep in America. So I mean, these political stunts, when you're dealing with human beings that are just trying to have a better life. I mean,
you know what, Mr. Nice Guy? I disagree with you. You know why?
Why is that?
LA is a sanctuary city. If you're a sanctuary city, send all them immigrants to the sanctuary cities. And this is the the 6 busload that Texas has sent.
At least.
They said when the first one was June 14th with like 40 people. They said when July 1st. They said when July 13th. They said when July 18th. A total of 283 immigrants have been shipped to Los Angeles from Texas by what's the name of that Governor Abbott? Governor Abbott shipped them all to Texas, a sanctuary city. He's being responsible. That's a responsible governor. He's being very responsible. Look, we don't want y'all. He got deterrence on the border. He don't want them there. We don't want y'all. But hey, this city, LA, they sanctuary. They got place for y'all. I think he's doing the right thing.
You think he's doing something from a moral standpoint? You think that because he wants them taken care of, so he's sending them to a sanctuary city? Or he's basically what he's saying, that look, these people are a burden to society, so we're gonna make them a burden to yours.
No, he's sending them where somebody say that we'll take them. If I'm a church and I say we take the homeless, we take on, and you bring in somebody to us, hey, I gotta handle it because I put it out there that we'll take care of them. If we opening our arms to them, bring them to them because we don't want them.
That would be a moral position that a church or something like that would be taking. That's not their position. They don't even want them in America. They don't want them to have no rights. They don't want them whatever. So that you understand that it's like, if you're saying that the action lines up with a good thing, okay, whatever. But the intention, they don't want them here at all. So it's not a function of, hey, let's just shepherd them to a sanctuary city. They're just sort of, go ahead.
If the people that's coming here, right, they trying to leave their countries, they want a chance in America. The governor Abbott is giving them a chance. He like, us here in Texas, we don't want y'all. Nothing we could do to help y'all. I'm gonna send you to somebody that want to help y'all.
They are giving them a chance.
That's what I'm saying.
They're definitely giving them a chance. Yep. I don't think he's giving them a chance though. It's a publicity stunt. It's
a publicity stunt. But how can LA solve its homeless problem when it keeps taking in these people from other countries, giving them housing and all this old stuff in front of all these people that's out here that can't even get this type of stuff? That's irresponsible right there. Well, so what they need to do is give them an MTA bus and send them right on back to Texas and Florida and all those other places and let them handle it.
That
No,
would be irresponsible
that
for
would be
LA.
responsible.
That
Well,
would
it's
be
irresponsible for them
irresponsible
to
for
send them
LA.
here.
Huh?
It's irresponsible for them to be shipping them off to LA.
It's not. It's not. The LA is a sanctuary city.
Okay, the reason why they're doing it is irresponsible. They're not doing it to help these people.
It don't matter the
But
reason.
you know what it's saying? You know why LA is a sanctuary city? LA is a sanctuary city because they're saying that, look, if you find yourself here, we're not going to just treat you like you're subhuman because you're an immigrant. So that's the whole purpose. It's not being a sanctuary city where you're like sitting there like the Statue of Liberty, give me your poor and your all this other. It's not a welcome mat. It's basically saying that if you find yourself here, you're going to have certain type of rights. So it's kind of a different mindset.
Oh, wait. Real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but I want to read this comment from my brother. This is my brother Charles X, a future guest on the show. I'm glad that he's clocking in or he's checking in and he got a comment. He says, "Is this a comment?" Abbott and others saying the burden,
saying share the burden instead of our state. Yeah, so instead of Texas dealing with the burden of it, he's saying that Texas is like, you guys are not so rah about immigrants, then y'all should share the burden and deal with the impact of these immigrants. So that's what they're doing. That's what this brother's saying. And I'm not saying that that's not a legitimate position to take, but I'm also saying that you're shipping these people. You know, you can if your concern is about these 30 people that you got on this bus coming into Texas, you can take those 30 people and send them out of Texas. But let me bring up, he says, remember, it's the Democrat and liberal policies that have created the influx. That's the position that he's taking. I'm not going to be defending Democrats or liberals. I don't identify with any of those things. So that's not my position.
But do you agree that he's doing a good thing? Judge Greg Abbott, the Mayor, Governor Abbott.
No, I don't think he's doing a good thing.
How not? He's giving them opportunity.
He's playing to politics.
Yeah, I think again, I don't know what's happening to them once they come here. So I don't know what further treatment they're getting. You know, if they're living a good life, if they're coming from a bad life, and now that they're living a good life, I would say yes. The sum of the end result is a good thing happen. I can't tell you what they're facing and what they're dealing with. I mean, people come here as immigrants and end up trafficked. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of terrible things. Just putting your toes on American soil isn't like delivery to the promised land. I don't know what their experiences are.
Calling yourself a sanctuary city, holds responsibility. So if LA is being responsible in whatever that means, being a sanctuary city, they ought to uphold to some kind of standard, right?
So now you believe the government is doing their job then? Is that what you're saying?
They're not believing nothing. They have a responsibility. Now they could be held. Their feet can be held to the fire because they call themselves a sanctuary city. So if from my understanding of a sanctuary city, we're going to provide and protect you and give you an opportunity, right?
My understanding is we're going to protect the immigrants that's already out here. That's what it is.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's a welcome mat. It's a function of the people that are there. So it's different. I mean, but let's read Brother Charles X. Simeon's. Democrats are giving them money and shelter at the expense of legal residents.
Yes.
If he feels that way, I'm
if he feels that way? What you mean?
Well, I take the position that there's resources to shelter everybody. I mean, there's land that's not being used. There's this thing called plants and stuff that you can actually plant stuff and fruit and vegetables. These things will grow out the land. And even if you didn't do that, there's this thing called glass houses, greenhouses, where you can grow fruit. There's hydroponics. I mean, the bottom line is we have the resources to feed and shelter people. There's material that you can use.
Okay, let me push back on that. Why are there so many homeless people out here in LA right now?
Some homeless people, a lot of homeless people, you got to understand this. They actually resist the shelter that you try to give them, the home that you're trying to give them. My father was dealing with on 2 occasions where he had to deal with a person that was homeless, and he goes, "Look, I'm gonna get you a place to stay. I'm gonna get you whatever and all this stuff." And the guy was like, "I just can't live around those people. I just need to be out in the open." We had a client that was like suing the city because the city did something. He was like staying at a park, and he got this money, but he still went back to the park because it was like part of his compulsive dynamic personality where he still had to live that sort of like nomad lifestyle. So I'm not saying that's the majority. I'm just saying saying that that's a lot of them. Then you got mental issues that some people are having. Sometimes the issues are a function of just people having bad breaks, you know. So, and again, to me, we have the resources. Those resources are not just being used on what the people are. But he makes a point. If he's saying that, look, if this particular agency only has a limited amount of money and they're giving this to immigrants versus homeless people, I mean, that's a legitimate argument. But to me, human beings are human beings. I wouldn't necessarily favor one over the other. I mean, to me, it's a first come, first serve type basis type situation. But I see a lot of comments, so let's talk about this stuff.
They don't want to deal with the restrictions. Who are he talking about?
Yeah, exactly. He's talking about the homeless people that might be put in these type of situations. Exactly. And he brings up mental issues. So we were agreeing about that same type of thing. So it's you know, that's you know, hey, thank you to y'all listening and commenting. We definitely want you to participate in the show. Charles X sent me, homelessness in LA, mental health, veterans, and drug abuse are key factors. Exactly. So there's a lot of these things that, you know, we kind of need to deal with. We need to deal with as a culture, but we also need to just roll up our sleeves. We got the resources. We got people that can build stuff. We need to build. We're building all of these houses, you know, all this real estate that's, you know, more than actually people that we have enough residents to put in them. You know, we need to use those type of resources to just be decent people and you know, organize and clean up downtown, all of this stuff. Give people an alternative. Some people are going to do what they're going to do.
Bottom line,
people will take.
Bottom line, elected officials got to do their jobs. That's it. Do your goddamn job, elected officials. And the Greg Abbott, I think he's wheelchair bound. He's doing his job in my opinion.
Doing his job at this. Don't worry about humanity, but just
do your job. You got a responsibility to the people that elected you. If the people of Texas don't want no immigrants coming into their state, you do your job. Get them out of there.
And I will say this, Floyd X.
Yes.
The Democrats, the people that have received these people, they acknowledge it as a publicity stunt, but they've been like, okay, we'll deal with this. We'll take them and we'll run them through the system and, you know, whatever. So they haven't been running from it. I mean, these guys were dumping off people on Kamala Harris's front door. So, I mean, you know, hey, whatever. But they were telling these people, that we're going to take you and give you something great. And then they just basically kidnapped them and dropped them off somewhere. But
Mr. Floyd, wait. You know what? We're going to send some of those people out there to Sacramento.
Why? I ain't open my door to them.
Mr. Floyd X is a sanctuary. It's a sanctuary household.
Nah, I ain't opening my door to them. This is the richest and most powerful nation in the world. Why do we have so much homelessness?
Give this brother a horn. That's the fact. That's the reality.
I got an answer. Why we have got so much homelessness? Because this is the richest and most powerful nation in the world. That's the answer. That's the answer.
Yeah, share it.
That's how we became the richest. That's how America became the richest and most powerful nation in the world. By leaving shut out. I remember when I was in I took economics class at City College here in Sacramento, and the economics teacher told me that all homeless people will always be here. They are the tail end of the economy.
Yeah.
The tail end.
Hey, you know, in Libya, you know, they eliminated homelessness. So apparently there's something that can be done, right?
Exactly. That's why the leaders have to do their job. If you're not doing your job, it's shown by the number of all these tents here in Sacramento. It's ridiculous because it ain't because things are so bad. It's because somebody's not doing their job.
Well, can we move on? Because we're spending a whole lot of time on this one subject right now.
Obviously, it's an important subject. We're getting a lot of comments on it. We ain't never had this many comments.
Exactly. We got way more interaction than we've ever gotten. Yeah,
it's an important topic.
You guys are welcome.
That's right, First Lady.
That's right.
But hey, what was the type of government that Libya had that took care of the homelessness and stuff like that? What would you call that type of a government?
Socialism.
Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, team socialism. So okay, but don't run away from it. But we want to go on to the next in the news.
I don't have a problem with socialism. I don't have a problem with none of that shit.
But
Except when it comes to immigrants, it's cool though.
yeah, Floyd X hates black women and immigrants, man.
Oh,
But
that's
anyway,
ridiculous. This shit. What's that propaganda? The king of propaganda
That's a
you are, man.
propaganda. All right, so let's move on. What's the next in the news?
We got Trump, but I don't know what Trump
Oh
did.
no, we got some stuff to talk about. It's kind of related. We want to talk about let's talk about the government shutdown, and we'll come back to Trump. So, so the thing about the government shutdown is this: we always come up with this impasse where basically the Republicans and the Democrats have to figure out a way to keep the government going.
Hold on, my side. We talking about the government shutdown or Trump, or
we're gonna come back to Trump because it ties back. We're trying to M Night Shyamalan back to Trump. Right. I'm trying to set it up. So they're doing, and Trump was one of the people that would tell you he's Trump out of his own mouth. He goes, shutting down the government should not be one of our utensils to put pressure on the other party to compliance. We should be very concerned about keeping the government going and, protecting the government. I hate to say but American credit rating and all of this stuff like that. This was his position before till he was out of office. Then he got out of office and his whole position is like, yeah, shut it down, burn it down. Because he basically is like, look, I'll be the shining knight to save this. So, there was that quote in, I don't know if it was The Dark Knight Rises or whatever, where he's talking about, some people just like to see things burn. And that's basically where he is. So one of the tactics in this whole government shutdown is that they won't be able to move forward with all the prosecutions against Trump. So, it all comes back to him. Now, whether that can actually play out or not, like me and El Poo was saying, but that's been put out there. So that's one of the big motivations for shutting everything down. The dude that got like 93 cases going on against him.
But that's only.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, what you about to say?
That only covers the federal prosecution, right? Because we still got the state ones. They're not affected by the
Well, you know what? It's the federal government. It's not the state governments.
But no, the state of Georgia and the state of New York got 2 cases pending against Trump. Okay. They're not affected by this on the federal level, right?
I'm gonna guess that they're not, right?
This the Jack Smith and his prosecution office is not going to be affected at all because even if they shut down the government, it's still funded. It's independently funded through something else anyway. It's going to go on.
There's certain things that will still have to go on, and the way it works is like if a shutdown occurs, like things that have to go on, like the military and stuff like that, they'll still have to go on because certain things you have to keep going, but they won't get paid.
Yeah, they won't get paid.
But they won't get paid during that time. They have to work, but they won't get paid. But once they
government workers and then the Social Security office and stuff like that, but Social Security checks and stuff like that will still go out.
Let me answer this question about Mr. Tony Boyd. Do you think this will affect America's credit rating? I'm going to say hell no, because America's credit rating is called the U.S. military. As long as the U.S. got a military, can't nobody deny America credit.
Yeah, but you got to understand, not everybody's afraid of United States military because they got a military of their own. Do you think that China and Russia is concerned about United States military?
I bet they are concerned.
Well, they'd be concerned about invading. They'd be concerned about invading the United States. But I'm saying, as far as as Russia and China, that's like they have a financial interaction. So credit actually does matter. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Let me tell you how credit works. Credit works like, okay, you know what? We gonna find your enemies that's a sore in your bone. Like let's say Taiwan, for example, and we're gonna be their friend. We're gonna greatly help them keep a thorn in your foot. That's why Taiwan got a whole little island or a country that they don't have no real access to because it's backed by America. That's a credit score. That's America's credit score with China. Oh yeah, what? Okay, we'll put the battery in Taiwan's back to mess with you some more. And Taiwan is all for it. South Korea when it comes to North Korea. Hey, come on, South Korea, go ahead, do this. America is a very tactical. You got to read a book called The Economic Hitman if you want to learn more about America's credit rating. The Economic Hitman,
written by an officer. Yes.
I need to bring up a very good point from Charles X. Simeon. He says, from a conservative perspective, government shutdown is about getting spending under control. 100 plus billion has gone for Ukraine. To me, this is a legitimate position for the conservatives to take because they're like, look, you talk, if they're supposed to be the practical, not overspending and stuff like that. A lot of that went out of the window when Trump was president, but suffice it to say that that's sort of like their reputation. What they want to do is control responsible spending. And if they think that the money going to Ukraine is wasted, then I mean, that's a legitimate position to take. Whether they should be shutting down the government, though, that's something different.
I'll tell you this much. Obviously, Ukraine is more important than reparations for Black people.
Hey, we got a comment from the Focus Up show. It says the Focus Up show says, if you want to join the show, hit the link. I got a lot to say in the chat. Come on the show. Let's talk about it. Y'all got a lot to say. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Click the link.
Don't type about it. Be about it. Don't type about it. Be about it. But yeah,
we got a schedule on the show. But if this is what y'all want to talk about, we can talk about it all day. If this is what the people that's watching the show want to talk about, click the link. We could talk about it all day.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
So Tony Boyd said America's credit rating has decreased. I think a few months ago it went from a AAA rating to a AA rating.
What does that mean? How's America's credit
rating? Who the hell cares?
It's still a credit rating because you're still dealing with people outside of America. You got to think about this. Your creditors deal with, one creditor is Floyd X, one creditor is First Lady J, one creditor is El Poo, one creditor is Mr. Nice Guy. You got to understand, some people deal with the creditor as America, other countries.
Hold on.
That's why it is.
Y'all the creditors. I'm the credit bureau.
So I mean, it's these are legitimate positions. I mean, I'm always trying to point out that, look, all Republicans aren't all crazy. Democrats aren't all crazy. Both of them just have crazy positions at times. So again, the conservative position, I actually consider myself more of a conservative than a liberal, even though I feel like I'm not trying to regulate the world with my conservative beliefs. So that's why some people could put me in a liberal, under a liberal umbrella. So, but I mean,
why limit yourself to those titles, man? Why limit?
Well, again, I don't use that title, but I'm just saying that if you're talking about someone who leans a certain way, my personal beliefs are what are those beliefs that tend to I associate with conservative positions.
I take on none of those titles. Yeah, exactly. None of them.
I'm an independent. That's what I am.
I'm none of those. I'm a black man in America. I want to see black people win. I want to see us win.
I definitely want to see black people win. We agree there. Biggest threat to U.S. credit.
Go ahead.
Is BRICS and Africa aligning with those nations, which include, this brother need to come on the show. Yeah, so now he's talking about, I don't even know what BRICS is.
Either. What you talking about, cocaine?
That's why I made it a point to spell it. We just been having the same situation.
I don't know what BRICS is.
I know what they are. That one. Kilos.
Exactly. So, this is a legitimate position.
Whenever you ready, Mr. Charles X, to come on the show, the floor is open for you.
You ain't got to do your makeup, So, he said Bryce is happening.
What's that,
Tony, so Big Cuz knows what it is. So probably because I'm assuming that he was talking about the same thing. It was just a typo.
All right.
But we're gonna go on to the next in the news topic.
That's it for in the news. Oh, because it was Trump in that, so that's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what? We're at the 9:33 mark.
Damn, we spent 30 minutes on in the news
because we're interacting with the people, giving the people what they want.
All right, let's go to the commercials, man. Let's do some commercials here. Let's see what we got. Go to Mr. La Brea Trucking. Shout out to La Brea Truck. I haven't heard from that brother in a while. Hey, hit me up, Mr. La Brea Trucking, or I'll give you a call. But shout out to that brother. Damn.
It's a real quick commercial. All your cross country trucking needs.
Real quick, let's get the brother comments out here real quick. We'll have a commercial break for the commercial break. Brother Charles say, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and others whose economies and military interests has aligned.
So that was I think that was what they call that so he was using those initials. I forget what you call that, but the bottom line is the BRIC.
Oh, the BRICS.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. See, I love learning new shit.
Yeah.
I never heard that before.
I'm telling you what, Brazil, South Africa, and India ain't got a chance. Go ahead now.
I'm from the city of Compton, where you want to get your plug. Light green and fluffy, sticky, smelly, and lovely. Got that powder too, you know what it do. Caribbean flavor, sit still on my plate, bust do what they can.
Shout out Toppy Woppy. If you went to that old school original gangster type music, that's when you listen to Toppy Woppy. You know, they use the old slurs, old terms like blood, crip, like slime. That's the new term. I don't even know what slime means. I know that the new gangsters use that. And then they do this. This is what the new gangsters do. I don't know what that means, but that's gangster stuff. You went to that old school where people used to throw up signs and, you know, if I put that up, you know what that is. If I put that up, you know what that is. You know what that is. So that's the old school gangster. We don't promote negative gangster. We're talking about community organizations that, you know, gangs do have a purpose. And there's a positive side to gangbanging. Just that's all I want to say, but there is. And that's why we promote Toppy Woppy. But what's our next one we got here?
I said, was that the remix?
I missed something.
It like doubled up, something like that. But yeah, so go get you your black honey. That's gobealive.org. That's the website.
Hey man, we gotta bring that sister back, Mr. Nice Guy.
I'll reach out to Nidra.
Bring that sister back, man.
Bring some more of that sticky icky.
Huh? What you say?
Bring some more of that sticky icky.
All right.
I need to re-up myself.
Shout out to my brother, Mr. Clarence X from Clarence Muhammad. The brother does the halal meat. You want halal slaughtered meat? Hit that brother up. He's working out in the Bay Area, putting his footprint, his imprint down in the Bay Area, and much respect to that brother. If you want some halal meat, call the number. You can find him. He's always doing pop-ups in Fresno, Sacramento, the Bay Area, Richmond. He's all over. Hit him up if you want to bring him out.
Let me ask you a question about that.
Yes, brother.
Slaughtered meat. Is he out there like cutting the cows up by himself? You know, like killing them?
Nah, he works in cooperation with like Muslim farms. Okay. And so he went through the training, so he can slaughter a animal in a halal manner. He went through the training. They got like training courses for that he's been through. So he's real. He's hands on. That's what I would say.
He's getting the product. He's getting a product that's through that network. So yeah.
Yes. So he's hands on.
We need to find out. Hey, I need to find out if he can ship me some beef ribs, man.
He can.
Oh, hey,
and
we need to talk then. We need to talk then. For real. Yeah. But is that it? Oh no, there's always one. There's always one that's real special.
Let me highlight this one real quick. That's the Score Bar and Lounge. Great place to watch the football games on a Sunday. And then on Sunday, they got this beautiful sister over there. She does the brunch. I believe it's from like 11 to 3. She does the brunch. The sister could throw down. She's a very talented sister, Miss Teyana, the hair geek. She does the brunch over there. If y'all out here in Sacramento, y'all know who Teyana, the hair geek, is. She does brunches over there on Sundays at like 11 o'clock. You could go over there, grab you some brunch, watch a game, and enjoy yourself. The atmosphere is nice. The price of the alcohol is reasonable. It's a great place. And they got a pool table. If you want to play me in some pool, meet me over there. I'll whip your ass in pool.
Drop the address for them in case they want to go.
I don't have the address. It's Franklin and Florin. Everybody, Franklin and Florin.
Hey, like Brother Walk always say, Google it.
Google it. Yeah, y'all Google it. Google it. Let me try to play the latest commercial. Okay, Halloween is around the corner, so we're going to give y'all a Focus Up Halloween commercial, and then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Watch the Focus Up show every Saturday at 9 a.m. Log on to our website, focusupshow.com, and subscribe to our newsletters, and subscribe to our YouTube page, the Focus Up Show.
And don't be scared to get you some Focus Up swag.
All right. So now let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So what's going to be our first topic? That news scared like a topic, but
Come on, man. Come on, y'all know what it is.
Okay,
it's divorce season, man. It's divorce. It's over. Go ahead. What's that, Elpo? It's over.
It's over.
It's over. I was trying to find the theme song for divorce. We got the Jagged Edge got the song "Let's Get Married," and everybody celebrates wedding. But guess what? It's divorce season. Everybody's getting divorced, and we don't know why. Why people getting divorced right now? Is it the economy? Is it the relationship? Is it the manosphere? Is it the red pill, the blue pill? Why is everybody getting divorced right now? Why do women feel like they could go do better? Men ain't ready to settle down. Men thinking that it's more out there. Everybody's running and splitting apart. It's divorce season. Is this divorce season? Are we going to have a national holiday celebrating divorces at some point? Because why is everybody, we know what brought it on. Let me bring everybody back in. We know what brought this on is the Jeezy and Jeannie Mae. It was caught everybody by surprise. Where's that picture at? Hold on,
It's Jeannie Mae.
My.
Jenny.
But I mean, it wasn't just that couple. We actually were talking about a few couples. We were talking about that's right.
Was it the Jeezy and Jeannie Mae? And then we had the Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor. And who else? You had two more, right?
We also had the dude from Blackish, or what's his name?
Oh yeah, what's his name? The comedian dude. He got divorced.
Yeah, I apologize to not know this brother's doing big things, and for me to have forgotten his name, it's an insult, brother. But
is it Anthony Anderson?
Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah. But is that Iman Shumpert? Is that the dude that play on the Shy?
I don't know if he's on the Shy. I know he was a basketball player.
Yeah,
I think he's on the Shy. I'm not sure.
But
he might be.
But I mean, a lot of people love his wife. That was one of the things that Walk was going to be talking about. Teyana Taylor. But
why everybody getting divorced, Mr. Nice Guy? What's going on? Let us know. Let us know.
The reason why everybody's getting divorced is because marriage is a crappy institution, and that relationships are destined to fail. That sucks to say that, but I'm just saying
Holy shit!
that's the reality of how things
Holy
play out. It's not practical. It's not, people are just not gonna hold it together. They
That's
should.
your position.
They should. It should be better than that. Look,
Holy shit.
marriage is only going to be as good as the people that are involved in it. And the reality is the people that tend to get involved in self with marriage is people that are not up to that challenge.
All right,
So
let's get our comments in. I want to address that, but let's get our comments in. Mr. Charles X, men that marry boss chicks and being sold on making a power couple are rolling the dice at best. Okay, that's for the power couple people. But Mr. Nice Guy, you said that marriage is a crappy institution. Please explain.
I'm saying that it's human beings, especially I would say in current society. I think there was a time where there was pressure to not leave a marriage, and I think that's why marriages tended to stay longer in older time, or stay together longer in older times. And nowadays it's sort of like, hey, if you feel like pulling that ripcord, there's no pressure to not. So I'm saying that it's bound to fail. I mean, it's just the nature of it. I mean, the relationship's in it. And if you want to just make a relationship about the journey, then you can celebrate that. But marriage is different. Marriage is supposed to be a forever commitment. This is usually, your vehicle for raising a family. So I believe that marriage should be a great thing. I'm just saying that the reason why it doesn't work is that the people that are doing it, their heads aren't in the right place to even participate in that. Shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. Better if y'all just was boyfriend and girlfriends until y'all ended and move on with yourself. But those that are ready to step up to the plate and really do your thing, absolutely, y'all should get married.
All right.
Are you speaking from experience?
Men don't. We got a comment. Men don't do off. I don't know what that means. If men leave, they have someone they are moving to the main plate. Okay.
So what he's saying, that they don't just end a relationship because they just want to be out of it. He's saying that they end it because they already lined up the next one.
Now, Mr. Nice Guy, I didn't hear nothing in there, no justification of why it's a crappy institution. I didn't hear that in what you said.
It's a crappy institution because if you are not of the faith that it would take to make a marriage work, you should not be getting involved in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? That it's a cultural thing. We understand that
it's a commitment.
It's a commitment. And if you are not of the mind state where that you're not just going to check out when things don't line up how you like it or whatever, if you're the type of person that won't stick it through, you should not get married.
I don't think people go into a marriage thinking like that, though. I think they go into the marriage to make it work.
Let me say that
they always think that in the beginning. It's always rosy. I mean, that's the thing about it. When you're looking at the beginning of a relationship, it's all love. You look at the marriage, but then you see where it ends up, and you're like, wow, it's amazing how these people dotted on each other so much and just had all that love. And now it's like
making it sound like people go into it. You're making it sound like people go into it with the intention of saying, if this doesn't work, if I don't have these expectations met, then it's not going to work, and I'm out.
No, they don't go into it with that. I'm
Mr.
talking about.
Boyd disagrees with you, Mr. Nice Guy.
I understand, but I'm saying that I think that people go into it with the best of intentions. But I'm saying that I remember that a lot of times.
He says he agreed. I'm confused, but hey, his comments.
I think most people go into it just from an emotional standpoint, not really thinking it out. Really,
When I was younger, a lot of times before a couple would get married, the preacher would be like, well, I need to talk to the couple. Mm-hmm. And he'd evaluate them. And if he didn't think that they were up and ready to do it, he'd be like, well, I'm not going to marry you guys.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that don't work. We saw what happened with that lady when they had that video a few months ago where that lady said to love and obey. She was like, obey. Yeah. We could skip past that one. And everybody in the crowd laughed. So we know. And the preacher was like, we talked about that in counseling. I don't remember that part. That's of the counseling don't work.
I'm not talking about whether it worked or not. My point is that if there was a evaluation of whether these people were even at that point. I mean, you talked about somebody should line up $10,000 before they get married. You're making a criteria that you think that would be a useful utensil for getting married, right? You believe that?
Yes,
that's my point. What's a great utensil for getting married is not just the willing and the want at the beginning, but the commitment and your mind that you are going to see this through.
Hey,
You
listen,
know,
Mr. Nice Guy, you know what's missing, right?
First Lady J's.
Thank you. We need the first lady's perspective. Thank you. Let's go, first lady. We talking about marriage. I want to hear the first lady perspective. The floor is
that's right.
yours,
That's
first
right. Go on,
lady.
first lady. I was responding to the person that was asking me a question, but that's right. Let me defer to the first lady.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like some of the marriages are failing because of the individuals. Um, I feel like unless you're being physically abused or just cheated on, those are grounds for wanting a divorce. When you get married, you take a vow typically before God, and you have a commitment to each other, and so you're supposed to work it through. Divorce should not be an option. I just think people mindsets just get caught up in their own selfishness and don't want to take the time to work it out. You have situations where people will divorce and then remarry again. They'll give it a different it's supposed to be until death do you part, and I don't think enough couples are put enough effort into that. Like I said, if you're getting beat up by your mate physically, then by all means get out of that. Nobody needs to be in a domestic violence relationship. Or if, someone is cheating on you a lot, then, go on about your business. But all this unnecessary stuff about we couldn't agree, that's what happened. People going to disagree in certain situations. I feel like it's just too immature people that just want a reason to get out. They want to go on about their lives because, in other words, life gonna throw us curveballs, and
First
it's
lady.
up to you to sit up there and work it out and try and stick it out, not just run behind every little problem. Even if you got to sleep in separate rooms for a minute, you don't just throw in a towel so
Or
easily.
permanently.
All right, first lady.
Hmm.
You said to death do us part. I want to quote the words of one of our great artists. Forever, ever, 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 ever. Come on, that's
Well, I'm
that's a
just saying,
long time.
I'm just saying, typically that's thrown into the vows. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, stick it out. When you listen to some of these reasons why people are divorcing, to me, they're not legitimate reasons. Like, especially coming from somebody you love. Like, what's her name? Was it Patti LaBelle that just said that they just fell out of love or grew apart from each other, and that was the reason why they divorced? My
I think the
question
quote
is,
was,
how do you fall out of love from someone?
Real,
I think the quote was they outgrew each other or something like that.
let's catch up on the comments. Okay, this first one, um, the brother said full disclaimer. Okay. Let me go back. Okay, we got to catch up on the comments. We got Mr. Charles X says men choose who they marry, women choose who they have sex with. Successful or lack thereof marriages, men have to be accountable for. Do y'all agree with that? Successful men are accountable. It sounds like he said men are responsible either way. That's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, the first comment, I definitely get that. When he talks about that women have a much more willingness to get married than men. So to say that men choose who they marry, I think that men have sort of like more power for that to come to fruition. And as far as having sex, it's like women, yeah. If a woman wants to have sex, it's a whole lot less work than men. So I get that. So when he talks about success for the lack thereof, men have to be accountable for. I don't quite fully understand where he's going with that. I think everybody has to be accountable. I mean,
Exactly.
both of them.
I agree with that too. I
You agree with
just
that?
what you just said. Exactly what you just said. Both parties have to be accountable.
First lady, you agree with that?
Yes, both parties have to be accountable. That's basically what I was trying to say.
I say
Before you like,
I think the man is responsible.
But I'm gonna tell you something. What a wise man told me. He said, "Till death do us part." I'm not going to divorce you, but I will strangle your ass.
All right. So the next comment he posted was full disclaimer. I've been married for 27 years, and a huge part of my happiness and success
I say that I think that is what his marriage has been a huge part of his happiness and success has been his marriage that's been going on for 27 years.
Okay.
And we salute that. And again, to bring it back to this whole divorce thing, we're definitely not celebrating divorce. I mean,
why not? It's divorce season.
Yeah, we're not celebrating divorce here. I'll say this: look, there's certain relationships that are absolutely toxic and terrible, and there comes a time to get out of it. You need to salvage the rest of your life.
Nice guy.
That's the reality. Go ahead.
Stop. I'm gonna repeat forever. The reason I'm saying it, listen, I'm joking in a sense, but I tell my daughter all the time. I say, look, 25 years of marriage is a good run. If you raise your children under the same household and they move out and then now it's just you and her again, whether she wants to leave or you wants to leave, if one of y'all ready to go, in my opinion, y'all had a successful marriage. Y'all did what the whole point of coming together, in my opinion, is to raise a family. You raise the family, your children is grown, they had the opportunity to grow up in a house with a mother and a father who was there 24 hours a day, every day of the week. My children never spent not one day under another man's roof. I'm thankful. I don't even believe in God, but I say thank God. My children never was raised under no other man's roof. When my children come to me and say, so-and-so whooped me. So-and-so did. Never, ever. That's a successful marriage. And now the children gone, you and your wife is together. If she want to leave, fine. If I want to leave, fine. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul.
I agree. In fact, you might as well go ahead and be happy with somebody else.
No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. In my household, nobody's under lock and chain. Nobody's restricted. My wife can leave when she wants. I can leave when I want. I believe so. I don't think she's gonna be crazy. She ain't gonna slash my tires and try to sabotage whatever I got going. I don't think so. I hope not. It's just is what it is, man.
If that's what you told bargain for, I mean, I think that's a legitimate position to take.
Okay. So that's a different conversation. I'm gonna get back. I want to get back to what you said. Hold that thought. Let's go through the comments some more. We got a bunch more comments that we haven't seen. But I think this is an important conversation. We got full disclaimer. Okay. Does her mic work?
You're talking about First Lady because she wasn't saying nothing.
Okay. We got her to talk. We got it because her voice is bad right now. And we thankful that First Lady is here because
we was trying to conserve her voice.
We thankful that she's here. We're thankful that she's able to speak because I know she's been watching the last shows for a couple of weeks and there has been no women perspective. Thank you, First Lady, for being here with us this week.
Oh, last week she was typing like crazy.
Oh my God! Yes, your voice is needed here, sister. Your voice is. You represent women all over the world. It's they say what they say. I missed the term. It said it's the weight of the world is for his shoulders, not hips. But First Lady carry the weight of the world of women on her hips. You know how like when you see a woman with a baby walking like this, she's carrying all the women's perspective, and she has to tunnel that and voice it on this show. So thank you, First Lady. So let's move on to the next comment.
Thank you.
All right. The next comment, the brother says, agreed with selfishness. I'm not sure what that.
I like the next comment though. He says, not that comment, the one where because says she can use my bags. I'm assuming that was talking about if she's ready to move on.
You can use my bags. Where's that at?
If she's packing up to leave, you were talking about, if your relationship has gone its course and she wanted to leave. He's saying that, I'm assuming that's what, unless he's talking about First Lady, but
I missed something.
I mean, again,
okay, let's focus. Focus. I want to get to the comments. Okay, let me run through the comments. The brother say maybe women get married just to say they were married. I disagree with that. I don't think women do that.
I do.
Some do.
You think women get married just say they got married?
Some.
I disagree with that, but y'all agree. Y'all agree. Okay.
I ain't saying all, some, just some.
It's not about how long you have been married.
That kind of comes back to you if you've done your job. If it's done its course, if it's run its course, if it did what you think was the most important thing for it to do, I mean, that's a legitimate position to take, brother.
All right. That's like saying I finished high school. You're supposed to do that.
Well, it's probably
there you go. Okay, now wait, let me talk on this comment. This comes from my philosophy of this. People feel like you should be patted on the back for doing things that you're supposed to do, and I say no. You should be patted on the butt for things that you're not supposed to do. So yes, I'm not a person that's trying to get I'm not trying to get saluted for things that I should be getting, that I should be doing. So I hear him on that note.
So he got agreed. And then, okay, here's a point. You said she can use my bags. And then, got it. All right, so now, all right, let's get back to where we was at. Well, what's that point, Mr. Nice Guy, I want to address you on? Or
I said, if that's what you both agreed to, if that was what you bargained for, that's a legitimate position to take.
Now, First Lady pointed out, she said that people shouldn't get divorced because she laid out two things, and this is my personal marriage. Before me and my wife got married, this is what we agreed to. As long as there ain't no physical abuse, no adultery, or blatant disrespect. Those was the three things for me. I laid out, we shouldn't be getting divorced. If none of those occur, we should not be getting divorced. And so far, so good. We still here. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, if that's what you were saying, First Lady, like if those criteria aren't met, there's no need to get divorced,
or no need for nobody to die. Yeah,
I think there's a comment. That needs to be read before I go on. You're gonna pull it up. The next comment.
Nice guy.
He already pulled it up, bro. He said nice guy.
Yeah, I fell for that.
I didn't see that comment. That's a good one.
It didn't need to be said.
That's funny. That was a good one.
I
mean, it's good when the viewers agree with one of the comments. That's a good thing, man. That's a way you know that your voice as a viewer is being spoken of. That's why we need the First Lady here. We need Nice Guy from his perspective. We need myself from my perspective. El Poo. Only thing we missing is the random ignorance right now.
And we in overtime too.
I had to pull my thing back. That almost got a horn. Shout out to Brother Walk though.
So I think I don't think we addressed it. We didn't go into details about it. Do y'all feel like we hit it enough? Or
this is what I'll say. I think the one thing is a very good point. When I was talking about marriage as a failed institution, I'm just saying that because they tried to take over a marriage what I think it was supposed to be, or at least what it purported to be. I think that if you evolve marriage to something that, works for present days type of stuff, then it kind of fits back to your definition as far as like, we have a particular agenda that we want to accomplish, and once we've succeeded and accomplished that, it'll be what it'll be, where it goes this way or that way. So that's a functional way. I mean, there's just benefits to being married, whether even if it doesn't go the full term, it's just as far as combining your resources and combining your efforts and doing what you need to do.
That's key to what you said. Listen, Mr. El Poo, if you could get the horn ready for me, because this brother's comment I think is a horn worthy, and y'all let me know if it is or not. But what you just said, Mr. Nice Guy, it was based off of that. But check out what the brother just said. If generational wealth is important, the institution of marriage and building a strong family is key in most cases. Divorces is akin to division, subtraction in mathematics.
I guess that's what happened when two horns get triggered at the same time.
I told El Poo you should have. That's key.
Too many chefs.
That's key right there, man.
And that's the thing about it. If you're trying to build, once you separate whatever, you are absolutely doing division, and that's why I'm saying that it kind of is a failure. I mean, if you want to figure it out, you want to go to one house for Thanksgiving, you want to do all of this stuff. So I mean, it's just there's benefits to working it out and pushing through and doing that. But work it out. Don't just be an asshole in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all work it out. Don't, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, especially if she's gonna take half of your wealth.
Let's say
definitions.
Let's say we may revisit this next week. We're gonna end the show here, but we may revisit it
Oh my
next week.
goodness.
Yeah, we gotta because I
I
mean
didn't
it's a
realize what
strong
time it
topic.
was. Yeah, I didn't realize what time it was.
So
Yeah.
we may revisit it next week. We'll find out later on in the week. But what I wanted to say, there's one more thing I want.
We going no wait before you do that. I got a real thing. There's gonna be a spin its back. So we're gonna talk about some music.
Spin
that back. So we're gonna go away for about 10 minutes or something, but we're gonna come back and talk about some music.
So if you tuned in, if you tuned in, we got to spin that back. We bringing it back without Walk. Walk is not here. We're gonna do spin that back without Walk. First lady, you invited to join if you want to talk hip hop. We can just the Spin That Back show is just hip hop. We're gonna talk hip hop. What are we talking about today, Mr. Nice Guy?
We're gonna talk about Nice and his inability to pick a good beat.
I hate this conversation. I hate it.
He'll stumble into a good one every now and then. He's a great, phenomenal rapper, but boy, he's like how ladies picking bum dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Now, El Poo, you know,
you see First Lady's eyes roll.
El Poo, you gotta cue up that rewind when you're ready. Bring that back. After you do that shit, we're about to spin that back. Y'all want to tune in?
10 minutes.
Coming up
10 minutes.
in 10 minutes. We coming back with the Spin That Back show. Tune in. If you got comments, we're gonna open the link if you want to join the show and talk about hip hop. It's only hip hop. Ain't talking about no heavy topics, immigration and governors and all that other shit. We talking about hip hop, nigga. All right, and we know the origins of hip hop. There's one more thing I want to say. If y'all gonna go to the thing and then